By the way, we've had that one question I think I've got to answer. We're running out of time.
We do. Bring it on, Pat. This is from Robert.
Why should I vote?
Robert says, why should my wife and I vote when the Electoral College has the final vote?
The Electoral College theoretically has the answer, but to my knowledge, they have never gone against the popular vote, and there'd be an outcry in our country if they ever did. So you select electors, and they go and vote, but they vote the way that the vote of the people shows. So your vote does count, and that's the way it is. You got another question?
Sure, you're registered, yes. This is Lana, who says, I have a dear sister in the Lord that's been telling me that we, as Christians, are still supposed to observe the feasts of the Old Testament. She says that if we don't, we're not truly being obedient to God. Didn't Jesus fulfill the law? I would so appreciate your knowledge on this.
Well, he definitely fulfilled the law, and he declared all foods whole, and the dietary laws were no longer operative under him. So the answer is we are not under the law. We're not under the Old Testament feasts. We're not under those regulations. There are moral laws that are embedded into the warp and woof of the society we live in and the world we live in. And those things, you shall not steal, commit adultery, and all that, it's there for us, and they are normative for all of us.
And yet we observe Rosh Hashanah here, but
but it's our choice. We don't have to do it. We do it because it speaks, in my opinion, of the second coming of Jesus, and that's why we do it. But we don't have to.
We bring it in with gusto. Okay, this is Dorothy, who says, is it true if a born-again person has not received the baptism in the Holy Spirit by speaking in tongues, he will not go in the rapture? I've heard this from well-meaning Christians. They're referring to Matthew 25, the foolish and wise virgins. If this is true, many Christians will be left behind. I don't hear much on this subject in the pulpit or the gifts of the Spirit being taught.
Well, I believe in the gifts of the Spirit, but what's being said about not getting in the rapture if you don't speak in tongues, that's just nonsense. There's nothing in the Bible about that. And I believe that when you are filled with the Holy Spirit, one of the evidences, if you will, of the expressions will be the utterance. But I do not think that has anything to do with whether or not you're going to be in the rapture.